Morning, everybody. How you doing?
Morning.
Hi
Morning, guys.
guys.
All right.
How is everybody? Everybody all right?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
the sun is out in Scotland for the first time in a while. We're all good.
Good. So weird times. It's 15th of April, and for people watching this, we do this as a regular thing, just to sort of help agents out that are looking at growing their business and how I can support that growth. So, but some people like them filmed, have them filmed, and we talk about what's going on and how we're going to help. And this is the first in the series with Joe, Lindsey, and Arfan. So, we're just going to do a quick sort of intro. Most people will know Joe, but Joe, do you want to give us a quick 30 seconds hello? We normally do a video, just me and you, don't we? But we're including others in this one now. So, Joe, tell us who you are.
Yep. Joe Rylett, 14-year high street estate agent now. 5 months eXp agent. Loving it at the moment. Enjoying watching it grow and seeing these guys. That's where they are on my screen anyway. Get involved. So yeah, 30 seconds done.
Good. Lindsey, say hi to everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay. I was a journalist for 20 years and a couple of years ago I decided I needed a complete life change, and I've thrown myself into the property industry using my background with digital marketing because we're selling houses and we're selling them online now, so it's been a whirlwind. Joined eXp and so far it's been absolutely amazing.
Good stuff. Arfan, last but not least.
Hello, I'm Arfan, based in Luton. Worked for one of the largest estate agents in the UK for 5 years. Now going out on my own, controlling my own destiny. That's definitely within 30 seconds.
Good stuff. Yeah, so we do these, and really the first one's a bit of an intro to people that are listening, and so the ones going forward are sort of a warts and all, I suppose, documentary type, sort of fly on the wall. How's it going? What's happening? What are your challenges? What are the ups? What are the downs? And so Arfan and Lindsey have just joined eXp very recently. So I guess probably the best thing to do is to start with you guys on, why did you join eXp? Arfan, what were your reasons for joining eXp?
I mean, for me, I loved helping people, still do, of course. Love helping people find the next property wherever they are in the journey, looking for a bigger property, downsizing, looking for your first home. Got the absolute buzz helping people fulfill their dreams. Just fell out of love with the corporate structure of things. Felt it wasn't doing the customer justice. So when I saw read a little bit about eXp, saw how Joe was starting off and how he was really customer focused. I wanted that for myself, and I think Luton really needed that. So that was the main reason I joined eXp.
And did you look at other models? What were you sort of thinking when you were looking at moving on? Were you looking at other independents, going on your own, other similar models?
Yeah, I did look at the local estate agents in my town, Luton, but I felt it's sort of very samey. Like I said, I was already working with one of the largest estate agents in the UK, certainly the most successful. So I didn't think I could get anything as good or better on the high street. When I looked at going out on my own, I looked at other models similar to eXp, but eXp felt right for me simply because the commission structure, the support network provided, and also the technology as well. I thought it was second to none. Got a demo of everything. I thought it was better than the other models, for me anyway.
Yeah, good. And Lindsey, what was your reason for joining eXp, and did you do a lot of research in the market as well?
Yeah, I did. I actually started off, I launched my own agency and I took everything on board, but when the portal fees started really kicking in, the property portal fees, I realised it was a bit of a mistake and I should have done my research back then. I joined a local hub network. It wasn't quite the right business fit for me. They had targets, you had to be in specific places every week, and I felt I couldn't really breathe. So I did do a bit of research, the big competitors, etc. And I saw eXp. I've been following a lot of American real estate agents who are part of the eXp family, and I just loved their enthusiasm. I did a bit of research, and then you started popping up on my LinkedIn feeds, and I really liked your enthusiasm. You seemed really genuine, and I was absolutely desperate to join eXp because I think it ticked all my boxes, what I was looking for in a business, really.
Good. Yeah, it's an exciting business to be part of. So no, really pleased to have you on board. I guess so. People watching are going to wonder, you know, what were the reasons that you didn't want? Talk about fear. I'm just going to go straight into it and talk about fear. You know, that is the biggest challenge, I think. Fear and maybe money, some people might say, but I think you can get hold of money if you really want to. Fear is very difficult to get over. Lindsey, I guess you're self-employed already, weren't you, for a period of time? So fear was probably less of an issue, was it? Or was it still fearful? It must be fearful going into a new industry 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, you always have to have a bit of that fear factor that drives you forward. There's always a fear factor of one starting out on your own. Putting yourself out there, I think, is the #1 fear factor. And I think that is for a lot of agents who have had that maybe security blanket of working for a large online or a large high street estate agency. Going out alone is a scary place, and putting yourself on social media, you know, on camera, etc. There's a lot of you know, fear associated with that. However, what I will say is once you get over that fear and you just absolutely go for it, and you know, if you join a business model like eXp where you get all the support you need if you want it, there's a really cool community as well. You know, I've met so many really good agents that we're all willing to build each other up and willing to help each other, and I think that really does take the fear factor away. Although this is my business and I'm building it for me and I'm doing it my way, I still feel as if I'm part of something that, you know, is my comfort blanket, and I don't have the fear factor I necessarily had when I especially set up my own agency from scratch on my own. Absolutely, it's a 360-degree change.
Yeah, so mate, the thing for me is the ownership of the business. Essentially, sort of everyone becomes a shareholder. So although you are your own boss within your own entity, and you are driving your own business, and you can sell 2 houses a month or 20 houses a month, it's up to you what you want to achieve. So you've got your own little business, but you also then own a bigger part of the business. You own part of eXp, the main business. So everyone, culturally, you know, what I've seen, and having done a few business jobs in the last 3 or 4 years, culturally, everyone's trying to find solutions rather than problems. You know, everyone's working together to try and grow their business, but also the bigger business. And I've never worked in a business like that. You know, even when I was running Hatched, and I owned 50% of the business, but the staff didn't own any of the business. So, you know, what was their reason to be at work? I mean, of course there's a reason to be at work, but what was their reason to see it grow exponentially? There was no reason. And every other business I've worked in, and every other business in the UK, when you leave that business, you walk away with nothing. And so that's quite a compelling thing. You know, Arfan, when you left your last business, what did you walk away with?
Oh, absolutely nothing except my last paycheck.
Exactly. So, you know, and that's where ownership of a business becomes really important, because when Joe walks away in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 20 years' time, he'll have shares in the business. He'll walk away with something. The same with you guys, Arfan and Lindsey, as well. So, that's just my view of the whole. One of the big reasons for being part of this, which has only really dawned on me probably in the last couple of months, and will dawn on more people as they own more parts of the business. But going back to the fear thing, Arfan, what was you're coming out of a really comfortable salaried role. You know, that's hard, isn't it? That's scary, right? How
Absolutely.
did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very scary. The fear is certainly there, which is why I took a little bit longer than maybe some others to actually make the decision to go self-employed. I mean, to a certain degree, the fear is still there, but it would be easy for me to say just get over it, but it took a lot of deciding and a lot of thinking. And two things for me: one, the support that you get with eXp. And the fact that you do feel like a team, even though being self-employed can be sort of lonely, and because you're all on your own, etc. But having that support was good, but also the fear for me was not as daunting as the potential regret. I thought if I didn't go ahead with this, I might someday in the future think, what if? In my mind, I always want to, I think I can deliver, in fact, I know I'm certain I can deliver a better service than a lot of the high street agents can to the customers. I'll be taking that away from them just because of that small amount of fear. So it takes a lot of inside thinking, and I thought if I don't do it now, I never will, and in the future I'll always think what if.
And how did your family support? I don't even, have you got girlfriends, married? How did your family, how did your wife, how did your girlfriend, how did your parents and brothers, sisters, whatever your family unit is, how did they support you and what did they think?
Yeah, thankfully. Well, thankfully I have got a big family. It was sort of 50-50 really. A lot of them were saying, look, you shouldn't leave such a comfortable salary. What are you going to do if? And I just thought, well, that doesn't stop me trying. I need to try. But then there was the other half of the family that sort of said, yeah, you can do this. We'll support you.
Yeah.
And if money's if money's an issue, we're here for you. Thankfully, I'm in that position. But yeah, I've got a lot of support, sort of mentally, and they are here to support me, which is really good. It helps.
Brilliant. It really helps massively. I mean, when I first went out on my own in 2005, my wife fully supportive of it.
Mm-hmm.
My mum was. My in-laws probably weren't. They were scared because obviously I'm with their daughter, and I've got to keep the roof over their head. So you do get people saying what if, and that's quite good. That's quite good. I don't think that's a bad thing because it makes you think about stuff. I know, Joe, you've got some good. You did a video on LinkedIn a minute ago. Well, I just saw it 20 minutes ago about fear. Tell us about how you've overcome it, and because there's that continued fear there, isn't there, all the time, really? He's on mute. Yeah, go. I've unmuted you. Go again.
Yeah. I think I said I've learnt to sort of deal with it. It's always going to be there every time you walk out the door. It's interesting. When I first chatted to you, it was just lots of information. And I don't know if you remember, I walked away from it going, nah, not for me. But I didn't really look at it. And I looked at loads of different models. Look, I looked at the Purple Bricks model. I looked at the Keller Williams model. I looked at doing it myself because there was a couple of people that were willing to put some money into me, which was great. Then I thought, hold on a minute. I don't want to manage staff. I don't want the stress of all of that. And having something on a piece of real estate on the high street that someone else would be paying for, clearly, because I didn't have the money to get started on my own. But I didn't want all that. So, and then I narrowed it down, this and Keller Williams, and then I went eXp. I think I've said on some previous videos, just thought it's going to be more about me, more personable, be able to have my name out there, and eXp would just be more of the background, the trimmings, the support, as opposed to Keller Williams. It would be a bit about the other way, like Keller Williams out there and me sort of in the background. So, but the fear was there, and I reverted back to the high street. And then I think it took another month or so, and I got back in contact with you again. Let's have another chat about it. This time I sort of listened. This time I took it in because it was in person. It was a lot easier because we met in person, wasn't it? So, and it just clicked for me, and been enjoying it since. And as I say, you still wake up every morning and go, oh my God, there's the next instruction. Why is that house not sold? You still worry. You're still stressed. That's natural in any walk of life. So just deal with it. The roller coaster. I keep using that word. You've literally cemented that word in my head, and I use it in my everyday life, just talking to people on the street. But that is life, and that is being an estate agent. You just got to roll with it. So yeah, fear's still there. Just deal with it.
Yeah, enjoy the roller coaster. So good. No, really interesting, guys. And just, I suppose the last thing I wanted to ask is, what are your strategies? Obviously, we're in, what do we say, the 15th of April today. So we're in the middle of lockdown. There's no visiting houses. There's no valuations. You can do these video valuations. It's all a bit of bluster, all that stuff. What are your strategies for when, let's say, lockdown ends on the 1st of May, just for argument's sake? What are your strategies to be picking up instructions and getting in front of vendors over the next couple of weeks, and when we get out of lockdown? Lindsey, what's your go-to strategy? What you've been doing, and what are you going to be doing?
Well, ever since lockdowns happened, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really changed my approach. Okay, we can't go to people's houses, we can't go out and do valuations, do viewings, etc. However, my approach is you have to market your business every single day. And that can be hard when you're spinning plates and you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with new instructions, etc. But I get up in the morning and I always think to myself, how can I market my business today? Because you have to keep being top of mind, especially in your local community. And that can be online or offline. You know, I do both. And during lockdown, I have been looking after the clients that I have because they're very nervous. I have a few sales that are in process right now that have stalled, and I have new instructions that are waiting to come on as well. So it's managing their expectations and managing those challenges. But genuinely, every single day I get up and I think, right, what can I do today that's going to maybe get me in front of someone? And my old boss, he said to me, you will never build a business on social media. And it's absolute rubbish, because I would say about 95% of the business that I have won from my estate agency has been through social media. The power of social media is incredible, and I see so many agents not using it properly, and they were a bit scared of it. Again, putting themselves out there, that fear factor. And many are under umbrellas of, you know, big agencies, etc. They can't be themselves. At eXp, you can be yourself, you can be genuine, and that is my strategy. And over the last few weeks, I have won 4 listings during lockdown, just because I put my blog posts out there. I'm on social media, on my platforms every day. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm doing videos, and sometimes you get up in the morning, you don't feel like doing that. You just want to stay under your duvet, to be honest. However, you've got to keep pushing, and you've got to keep posting in that local face group. You know, have a Facebook campaign going, because look at your competitors in your local area. What are they doing right now? And I can guarantee you right now, I have a ton of other agencies. I have about 15 other agents in this area and agencies. And I don't know what they're doing online because I can't find them. So I'm using this to my advantage. I'm just getting my face out there, and I'm helping people, you know, answering questions, and just being present and consistent. And I think if you're consistent, you will win in this game.
Consistency is one of my favourite words, along with roller coasters. And Arfan, what are you? So social media, I mean, it's a great. You know, I must say, I'm not like your old boss. I think you can build a business on social media, but you know, impressed to see what you do. And anyone watching this, you know, look up Lindsey on social media, because she's pumping out the content and getting interaction and getting engagement. So it's definitely working for Lindsey. But everyone has a different strategy. Arfan, what are you planning on doing over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then onwards after that when we're out of lockdown?
I mean, yeah, it is going to change once we get out of lockdown, as you can tell from probably my hair and maybe yours, that we're in 3rd week of lockdown now. And what I've been doing over this time is a little bit of echoing what Lindsey said, just trying to make sure I'm still out there, people still sort of know that I'm still operational, still willing to give advice. So that's what we've been mainly doing, really, giving people, buyers, sellers, etc., advice in the local area about what they can do now in order to be best prepped for when we do come out of lockdown, and essentially making sure sort of everyone knows I'm available to give that advice. But also I'll be giving letters out to people I know have either previously been on the market or on the market at the moment, so they're aware that I'll be able to help them once we come out of lockdown.
Brilliant. Yeah, my favourite strategy, direct mail, that's for sure. Always my go-to. Every business I've ever done, direct mail. So, and Joe, the seasoned veteran, 5 months in at eXp, you are the veteran agent in the whole of eXp, pretty much. What are you going to be doing?
Hats off to the people that have looked like they've been seamless, and I see Lindsey just literally just keep smashing it away. And I struggled with that. I'm not ashamed to admit. I think I struggled because of stuff at home. Got 3 little kids, and staying with the strategy. Going to do X, Y, and Z today. Going to do this video. Going to do this. Going to do that. I couldn't do it first couple of weeks, but after that, I sort of got back to it. And I think it's just going back to what you were doing. If you haven't stopped doing it, great. But I stopped doing it. But going back to what was doing, what was working. And social media, annoying as some people are finding me at the moment, I'm out there every day on my personal one, singing songs. I mean, it's not property related, but I'm out there in my community. I'm networking. continuing the networking groups that I'm in, and that's networking with people all over the world, as you are as well. We're talking to people in America, networking in my community, chatting to all the tradesmen, all the people that I know, keeping the existing people happy, vendors, buyers. Some of them are just amazed that they hear from you, and it's second nature to us. It's like, oh, thanks for calling, you know, nice to see you're still working. It's just a phone call, but they really do appreciate it. And then I'm going to put the direct mail out there when it looks like we're coming out of it. I haven't quite pinned down that day yet. Obviously, we don't know, but just I've got a lot of paper, a lot of envelopes, a lot of stamps ready to go, and they're going to be going out there hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, social media, direct mail, but just talk to people, keep smiling, keep everyone happy. So.
And the model that we've got is and sort of coming to the end of this now. So the model that we've got means that Arfan and Lindsey both joined sort of as a result of Joe. And that means that Joe is there to sort of mentor and coach and help Arfan and Lindsey in everything to do with estate agency.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. And I think, and that's probably quite unique about the model in that you guys, Arfan and Lindsey specifically, you know, Arfan and Lindsey have got someone like Joe to lean on. You know, Joe's been in it 4 or 5 months. You saw Joe on LinkedIn, you saw him on social media, you thought, hang, what's this guy doing? What's this eXp thing all about? You got in touch with Joe. And so as a result, Joe then sort of becomes like a default mentor. It's not an obligation of Joe's, but it becomes that way. And so we have lots of mentors in the business, and others can become mentors. So I guess coming to the end of this, if people are looking at, you know, people who've just started like Arfan and Lindsey, or people that have been 4 or 5 months in like Joe, if you get in touch with them and find out what it's like on the front line, don't contact me. You know, I'm the lucky one that doesn't sell any houses. Unlucky one, because I love selling houses. But you know, I don't. You know, I'm not a self-employed estate agent per se. I'm not on the front line. So you know, Joe, Lindsey, Arfan are the people to be speaking to about why they joined eXp, what they're doing, and they might become your coaches, your mentors, your confidants about what they need to do next, or what you need to do next. So that's really how I would finish it. I mean, I don't know if anyone's got any last sort of messages, and we'll do this next month. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do, and we did record this once before, and it failed to record. But I suggested a task for both Lindsey and Arfan. I don't know if you remember, so I'm going to suggest it again. So Lindsey, you're up for this task, are you?
I'm up for it. Yep.
Arfan, you're up for this task?
100%.
And then we'll review it in a month's time. The point of me saying that was we'll review it in a month's time, see how you got on. So Lindsey's task, I think we sort of talked about trying to interview a pair of buyers on video if you can. Whether you have to do it on Zoom at the moment, that might be the case. But if you get some buyers coming into your ecosystem, into your network, and you know, you might get Kate and Simon come in and they're looking for a 3-bedroom semi in Kilwinning. And I know Kilwinning because my auntie's from Kilwinning. And you might do a little video, and then you'll post that video. You do an interview with that buyer, post that video of that buyer in the Kilwinning, We Love Kilwinning Facebook group, and see how many bites you get. Because I'm absolutely convinced. I've never seen it done before. I've never done it before. I don't know if it works, but I think you're the person to see if it does work. Up for that?
Definitely, I'm up for that. Yeah, we'll give that one a go.
And then Arfan, something I did try a little while ago. This will be a good one. So you go to We Love Luton Facebook page, and you post in there, and you say something along the lines of, "What one subject would someone love to know about regarding estate agency?" And your options, you can do like a poll, and you put your options in. You might say, "Why my house hasn't sold? Should I sell first or should I buy first? Why do estate agents charge what they charge?" Just 7 or 8 options, or 4 or 5 options that will get engagement. And obviously, anyone who clicks the option, "Why hasn't my house sold?" is probably a home seller who hasn't sold their house. So it'll be good people to contact and put your services in front of. So up for that?
100%.
Let us know how you get on in a month's time. We'll review that. It'll be really interesting. Lindsey's a bit more challenging because you might have to meet people, and that at the moment maybe not as easy. But if you can't meet anyone, then Lindsey, do what Arfan's doing in your area. We can compare results and see if you've had any uptake on it. But you know, there's inventive ways to find leads and to find people and to hook in with your community. You know, Arfan's just, both of you guys, if you do that, you're all of a sudden becoming part of the community. You're adding value to the community. You know, helping a buyer try and find a property and helping the public, you know, to understand estate agency. Those are both valuable pieces of content that the audience will like, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd love to review that in a month's time. But I think that's everything for everyone. Anyone got any last minute thoughts or suggestions or questions they want to ask me, or tell any viewers that are going to be watching once this goes live on LinkedIn?
I was going to say, for the people out there that are intrigued or watching this, with what we talked about, fear actually taking that move, fear of making that phone call or dropping that email or initiating that conversation, just do it. These two guys would have joined anyway. They've joined because they wanted to, and there's a whole process they've been through, and it's different for everyone. But Arfan walked up to me in a bar in London, not a random bar. We were both supposed to be there. Lindsey picked up the phone and phoned me. There's a lot of people out there that just sort of hover around social media, and you can tell they're intrigued because they're sort of interested in what you're doing. But pick up the phone, send the email, or approach the person, have the conversation about eXp. And if it's not for you, you walk away. But at least you've made that move.
Explore it. That's, you know, it's an opportunity, and everyone should explore every opportunity that might be suitable to. And this is a estate agency, so if you're an estate agent, it's an opportunity. Explore it. Couldn't agree more, Joe. All right, guys.
Just want to add to what Joe said. I wasn't in some random bar. We were at eXp's launch party. I don't go up to random people at bars. But yeah, if anybody watching this wants more information about eXp and wants to know more about my journey, I'm more than happy to talk through that with somebody or anybody. Stay safe and stay home.
Good stuff. No, couldn't agree more. Thanks, guys. We'll do this next month. Hopefully, we'll be out. Hopefully, the world will be turning again. But as Arfan said, you know, in the meantime, stay safe, stay home, and I'll see you all next month.
Cheers. Take care.
See you later,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.